Have you ever tried manifesting something you desperately wanted, only to watch it slip through your fingers? You visualized it, affirmed it, felt the emotions, did everything the gurus told you to do, but nothing changed. Here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. You've been using the wrong law. Today, we're going to expose why the law of attraction fails most people, while the law of assumption works every single time. By the end of this video, you'll understand the one critical difference that changes everything. The law of attraction became massively popular in the early 2000s, promising that like attracts like. Think positive thoughts, feel good emotions, and the universe will deliver what you want. Sounds simple, right? But here's the problem. Millions of people have tried it and failed. They're still broke, still single, still stuck in the same life they were trying to escape. Meanwhile, a smaller group of people discovered something more powerful, something that actually works. It's called the law of assumption, and it's been hidden in plain sight for decades. Let's break down the fundamental flaw of the law of attraction. At its core, it operates from a position of lack. When you're attracting something, you are inherently admitting that you do not have it. You are sending a signal to the universe, or your subconscious mind, that you are in a state of wanting, of needing, of not possessing. This creates an energetic paradox. You are trying to feel good about having something, while your very act of trying reinforces the reality that it isn't yours. It's like trying to feel full while staring at an empty plate and telling yourself, "Food is coming, food is coming." Your stomach, your senses, your entire being knows the plate is empty. The law of attraction asks you to generate a positive feeling to draw something external to you. This process is fragile. A single moment of doubt, a bad day, or a negative thought can disrupt the entire vibration you're trying to maintain. You're constantly walking on an emotional tightrope, terrified of falling into negativity and undoing all your hard work. This is why it feels like such a struggle for so many. You're essentially begging an outside force, the universe, to grant you your wish, placing your power outside of yourself. Now let's pivot to the law of assumption, a concept brilliantly articulated by the mystic Neville Goddard. This law operates on a completely different premise. It doesn't ask you to attract anything. Instead, it states that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. Your imagination is not a tool for wishful thinking. It is the creative power of God in you. The external world is simply a mirror, a shadow reflecting what you are conscious of being. The power isn't out there in the universe. It is within you, in your own wonderful human imagination. The law of assumption doesn't care about your positive or negative thoughts in a moment-to-moment sense. It cares about your dominant assumptions, the deep-seated beliefs you hold about yourself and the world. Instead of asking for what you want, you simply assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You don't try to get something. You go to the end and live from the end. You mentally inhabit the state of the person who already has what you desire. This is the critical difference: attraction versus assumption. The law of attraction is a philosophy of becoming. You are trying to become wealthy, become loved, become successful. It's a journey, often a long and uncertain one, from point A, where you are, to point B, where your desire is. You're constantly looking ahead, hoping to close the gap. This keeps you in a perpetual state of waiting and hoping. The law of assumption, on the other hand, is a philosophy of being. You are not becoming, you are being. You mentally move to point B and assume that it is your current reality. You are not trying to become wealthy. You assume you are wealthy now. You don't try to find love. You assume you are loved now. This closes the gap instantly in your imagination. And since your imagination is the one and only reality, the external world has no choice but to conform. You are not asking the mirror to change. You are changing the person standing in front of it, and the reflection must follow. It's a shift from begging for a result to commanding it from within. So how do you actually apply the law of assumption? The technique is surprisingly simple, yet profoundly effective. It's what Neville called living in the end. Before you go to sleep at night, in that drowsy, suggestible state, known as the state akin to sleep, you construct a short scene in your imagination. This scene must imply that your wish has already been fulfilled. It's not the scene of getting the thing. It's a scene that takes place after you have it. For instance, if you desire a promotion, don't imagine your boss telling you that you got the job. Instead, imagine a friend congratulating you. Feel their hand on your shoulder, hear their voice saying, "I can't believe you're the new manager, congratulations." Feel the thrill, the pride, the reality of that moment. You loop this short, simple scene over and over again until it takes on the tones of reality, and you drift off to sleep in that feeling, in that assumption. During the day, you go about your business, but you carry this quiet inner knowing. If a thought of doubt arises, you don't fight it. You simply return to your assumption. That's not true. I am already the person I want to be. You are impressing your subconscious mind with a new truth, and it will work tirelessly to bring it into your physical world. Let's walk through some practical examples to see how this works in real life. Imagine you want to manifest a specific person. With the law of attraction, you might visualize them calling, and try to feel good, but you're constantly checking your phone, wondering when it will happen. This is a state of lack. Using the law of assumption, you would assume you are already in a happy, committed relationship with this person. Before sleep, you might imagine the feeling of their head on your shoulder as you watch a movie together. Or you might feel a wedding ring on your finger. You don't try to force them to do anything. You simply inhabit the reality of being loved and chosen by them. You feel secure, cherished, and complete. By living in this assumption, you are changing your self-concept. You are no longer someone who is chasing love, but someone who is embodying it. Your reality must then rearrange itself to match this new inner state. For financial abundance, instead of affirming, "I am wealthy," while feeling the anxiety of bills, you would assume the feeling of financial relief and freedom. You might imagine checking your bank account and feeling a calm sense of security at the number you see. Or you might imagine effortlessly paying for a large purchase for a loved one. You cultivate the feeling, the state of being wealthy, not the act of chasing money. This inner shift is what causes the external world to present you with new opportunities, ideas, and avenues for wealth to flow to you. Ultimately, the reason the law of assumption always works is because it places you in the driver's seat of your own reality. It restores your power. You are not a victim of circumstance, waiting for an external universe to throw you a bone. You are the creator, the operant power. Your consciousness is the only reality. The world you see is a projection of what you are conscious of being. When you fully grasp this, the game changes. You stop trying to manipulate the outside and start transforming the inside. The feeling of naturalness is the key. You persist in your assumption until it feels completely natural to you, until the idea of being your old self feels foreign. When you reach this point of naturalness, the manifestation is done. It is already a fact in consciousness, and its appearance in your physical world is inevitable. It has to happen. It is the law. Forget begging the universe. Stop asking for permission. Decide what you want. Assume you already have it and live in that state. You have the power you always have. Now it's time to use it. So let's dive right in and start by understanding what the law of attraction actually teaches. According to this popular philosophy, your thoughts and feelings are like little radio signals, emitting vibrations out into the universe. The universe, in turn, acts like a giant receiver and sends back experiences that match the frequency you're broadcasting. If you consistently think abundant, prosperous thoughts, you will attract abundance into your life. Conversely, if you're stuck in a loop of negative, fearful thoughts, you'll find yourself attracting more negativity and unfortunate circumstances. The core practices usually revolve around things like visualization, repeating positive affirmations, keeping gratitude journals, and making a conscious effort to maintain what they call high vibrations. The law of attraction places an immense, almost singular emphasis on your emotional state. The central instruction is to feel as if you already possess what you desire. You're told to embody the feeling of being rich long before the money shows up in your bank account. You're encouraged to feel deeply loved and cherished before you've even met your ideal partner. You must feel the thrill of success before you've actually achieved your goals. The underlying theory is that these potent feelings create a powerful magnetic force, a sort of gravitational pull that draws your desires out of the ether and into your physical reality. This is the very foundation for popular techniques like creating vision boards, scripting your ideal day, and using manifestation journals to write your desires into existence. But this is precisely where the seemingly glittery promise of the law of attraction starts to reveal its darker, trickier side. It inadvertently sets up a dangerous and exhausting trap. It forces you into a state of constant self-monitoring, a hyper-vigilance over your own thoughts and emotions. You become obsessed with maintaining a state of relentless positivity because you've been conditioned to fear that a single negative thought, a fleeting moment of doubt, or a bad day could derail your entire manifestation and ruin everything you've been working for. You're often advised to cut off negative people, stop watching the news, and avoid anything and everything that could potentially lower your vibration. This fosters an exhausting and unsustainable cycle of toxic positivity, where you're essentially performing happiness, pretending to feel good even when deep down, you're struggling, anxious, or just plain human. Even more damaging is the subtle but profound way the law of attraction teaches a philosophy of separation. It fundamentally positions you, the creator, as separate from your desires. Your goals, your dreams, your ideal life, they are always out there, existing somewhere in the vastness of the universe, and your job is to do the work to attract them *to you. This framework places you in a perpetual state of chasing, seeking, and waiting for the universe to finally deliver your package. You're always focused on the gap, the distance between where you are right now and where you want to be. This constant focus on what's missing, on the lack, only serves to amplify and reinforce the very feeling of not having it in the first place. It's a self-perpetuating cycle of wanting, not of having. And what happens when the law of attraction doesn't work, which for many people is often the case? The blame is systematically turned back onto the individual. You're told it must be your fault. You weren't positive enough. You didn't believe hard enough. You must have some hidden, limiting beliefs you haven't uncovered. Maybe you weren't vibrating at the correct frequency, or your subconscious mind was secretly sabotaging your efforts. This insidious blame game keeps people trapped in a demoralizing cycle of perceived failure and self-doubt. They are led to believe they are the problem, that they are constantly doing something wrong, never stopping to consider that perhaps the entire framework, the very law itself, is fundamentally flawed. Now, let's pivot and introduce a concept that might feel radically different, yet profoundly simple. We're going to talk about the law of assumption, a principle masterfully articulated by Neville Goddard, who stands as one of the most insightful and influential mystical teachers of the 20th century. While the law of attraction focuses on matching frequencies, the law of assumption operates from a foundational and arguably more direct principle. It declares that your assumptions, the things you accept as true, are the very architects of your reality. What you assume to be a fact about yourself, about others, and about your world will inevitably solidify and manifest as your physical experience. This isn't because the universe is some external entity responding to your vibrational signals. It's because, as Neville taught, consciousness is the one and only reality. Everything you see, touch, and experience is in projection from within your own consciousness. This is where we find the most critical distinction between these two laws. The law of assumption doesn't require you to attract anything at all. In fact, the very idea of attracting implies a separation between you and your desire, a gap that needs to be bridged. Instead, the law of assumption instructs you to simply assume that you already are the person you wish to be, that you already possess what you desire. This isn't a game of make-believe or a superficial mantra. It's not about feeling as if you have it while a nagging voice in the back of your mind reminds you of its absence. It is a genuine, deep acceptance of your desire as a finished, accomplished fact. You are to assume the identity, the very state of being, of the person who already has what you want. This isn't pretending or faking it until you make it. It's a fundamental and permanent shift in your concept of self, a redefinition of who you are at your core. According to Neville Goddard's teachings, your imagination is the creative force of the universe. He famously stated that imagination creates reality, the three-dimensional world you perceive as solid, and external is nothing more than an outpicturing, a reflection, of your own imaginal acts. When you construct a scene in your imagination, that implies your wish is fulfilled, and you immerse yourself in that scene until it feels real and natural to you, you have effectively planted a seed in the fertile soil of your consciousness. By the very nature of this law, that seed must germinate and grow into a physical manifestation. It is not a question of if it will happen, but only when and how. This law is completely impersonal, like gravity or electricity. It operates mechanically and consistently for every single person, at every moment, whether they are aware of it, believe in it, or actively deny its existence. It works regardless. The law of assumption also reframes the very nature of desire itself. It teaches that you are not, and never have been, separate from the things you want. Your desire is not a random whim or a signal of lack. Instead, your desire is divine proof that the reality you want already exists. You cannot conceive of a desire for something that does not already have a reality in consciousness. The moment you became aware of wanting something, you simultaneously became aware of its existence in a different state of being. Your task, therefore, is not to chase it, earn it, or attract it from some distant place out there. Your job is to claim it from within. You do this by consciously moving your awareness into the state of consciousness, where that desire is already your present reality. You occupy the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is precisely the point where many people stumble and become discouraged. They attempt to apply the law of assumption using the mindset of the law of attraction, treating it as just another technique in a toolbox for getting things they perceive as separate from them. They will diligently perform their imaginal acts, perhaps visualizing for a few minutes before bed, but then they immediately open their eyes and scan their three-dimensional world for evidence. They check their phone, their bank account, their reflection in the mirror, searching for any sign that it worked, when the external world hasn't instantly reconfigured itself to match their 5-minute imaginal scene. They conclude that they failed or that the law is a fraud. But this demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of how consciousness operates. The outer world is always a mirror reflecting your dominant inner state, but like any reflection, there can be a time lag. A sequence of events, what Neville called the bridge of incidents, must unfold in a natural, often unexpected, way to bring your assumption into view. Checking for results is an act of doubt. It is an assumption of lack, which only delays the manifestation. The true power of the law of assumption is found in its profound simplicity and its liberating nature. It frees you from the exhausting work of constant emotional management. You don't need to obsessively monitor your vibration or strive to maintain a state of perpetual high-frequency bliss. You don't need to fear or suppress every negative thought that crosses your mind, worrying that it will derail your manifestation. Your only task is to define what you want, assume the feeling of that wish is already fulfilled, and persist in that assumption as your new reality. You live from the end. When you persist, your feelings will naturally catch up to your new self-concept. Your dominant thought patterns will begin to align with your assumption. And inevitably, as a matter of universal law, your outer world must and will conform to the new reality you have claimed within. This is not a philosophy of hope or a system of chance. It is a definite, unwavering law of consciousness. All right, let's break down the critical differences between these two so-called laws, so you can see with absolute clarity why one is a recipe for frustration, and the other is the key to unlocking your desired reality. The differences aren't just subtle nuances. They represent a fundamental shift in understanding how reality truly works. First, let's talk about focus. This is a big one. The law of attraction centers its entire philosophy on the desire itself. You're constantly thinking about what you want, you're visualizing it, you're creating affirmations for it, all in an effort to attract it into your life. The problem with this approach is that it perpetually keeps you in a state of wanting, of lacking. You are affirming to the universe, and more importantly to your own subconscious mind, that you do not have the thing you desire. The law of assumption, on the other hand, flips this completely. It focuses on the end result, on the wish already fulfilled. You are not trying to get something. You are consciously and deliberately living from the assumption that you already have it, that you already are the person who has it. This isn't about wanting, it's about being. Second, consider the emotional requirement. The law of attraction is notorious for its demand that you feel good all the time. You must maintain high vibrations, stay relentlessly positive, and never let a negative feeling in. If you feel sad, anxious, or frustrated, you're told you're pushing your manifestation away, that you're blocking your own good. This creates an immense amount of pressure, anxiety, and often a feeling of failure. It's an unsustainable and unnatural state to maintain. The law of assumption has no such requirement. You are not required to feel good 24/7. Your job is simply to assume the wish is fulfilled. Some days you might feel ecstatic about your new reality. Other days you might feel completely neutral. And yes, some days you might even feel doubt or sadness. None of those fluctuating emotions have the power to stop your assumption. What matters is your persistent return to the state of the wish fulfilled, not your emotional state in any given moment. Third, let's look at the relationship with time. The law of attraction operates on a linear, future-based timeline. It treats manifestation as something that is coming to you, something that will happen in the future. You are always waiting for the universe to deliver your package. You're checking for signs, looking for movement, hoping it arrives soon. This creates a state of perpetual waiting. The law of assumption, as taught by Neville Goddard, recognizes that all of creation is finished. All time exists right now, in this eternal moment. The moment you successfully assume something in your imagination, it is done. It is a fact in consciousness, which is the only true reality. The three-dimensional world, what we call our physical reality, is simply a shadow, a delayed mirror that is catching up to the change you have already made within. You're not waiting for anything, because you already possess it in the only place that matters, your own wonderful human imagination. Fourth is the role of techniques. The law of attraction is obsessed with techniques. It's a world of doing. You need to do your vision boards, script for hours, chant affirmations until you're blue in the face, and maintain a strict gratitude journal. If you miss a day or don't do the technique correctly, there's this underlying fear that you might have messed up your entire manifestation. The techniques become a chore, a rigid set of rules you must follow. In the law of assumption, techniques are merely tools, and they are optional. Their only purpose is to help you get into the state of the wish fulfilled. Whether it's a short imaginal scene before sleep, known as state akin to sleep or SATS, or a brief affirmation, the technique is only there to help you feel the reality of your assumption. Once you have successfully assumed this state, the technique has served its purpose. You can drop it. You don't need to endlessly repeat it out of fear. You live in the assumption, not in the technique. Fifth, and this is crucial, is the source of power. The law of attraction, whether it explicitly says so or not, suggests that the power is outside of you. It's in the universe, in vibrations, in cosmic energies. You are a small being asking a vast external power to please give you what you want. You are essentially a beggar at the gates of the cosmos. The law of assumption teaches the exact opposite. It teaches that all power is within you. You are the operant power in your reality. As Neville stated, you are God playing the part of a human being. There's nothing outside of you that has any power over your reality. The universe isn't a separate entity. It is a projection of your own consciousness. You are the creator, not the supplicant. You are not asking for a reality. You are decreeing it. Sixth, let's look at how each law deals with doubt and negative thoughts. This is a common struggle for everyone. The law of attraction often tells you to fight your negative thoughts. It promotes a kind of mental warfare where you have to police your mind, immediately squash any doubt, and forcibly replace it with a positive thought. This constant battle creates enormous internal conflict and resistance. What you resist persists. The law of assumption, however, has a much more elegant and effective approach. It acknowledges that doubts and old thought patterns will surface. They are simply the momentum of your old state of consciousness. Your job is not to fight them, but to simply notice them and return to your assumption. You don't give them your energy or attention. Doubts are like echoes from a past you've already left behind. They have no creative power unless you choose to entertain them and identify with them. You simply turn your attention back to the reality of your wish fulfilled. Finally, the seventh and most important difference of all is identity. This is the core of it all. The law of attraction, by its very nature, keeps you identified with your current circumstances. You are a person who doesn't have money, trying to attract money. You are a person who is single, trying to attract a relationship. Your identity is rooted in lack. The law of assumption requires a complete and total shift in your identity, in your concept of self. You are not trying to become someone rich. You are, right now, the person who is rich. You are not trying to find a loving partner. You are, right now, the person who is loved and adored. You are not trying to get something. You already have it. This radical shift in identity, this assumption of a new self-concept, is what rearranges your entire world. When you change who you believe you are, the world has no choice but to change its reflection to match. Alright, so now we've laid the groundwork for both of these concepts, but it's time to get into the real heart of the matter. We need to dissect exactly why the law of attraction, despite its massive popularity, so often ends up failing the very people who put their faith in it. Let's dig deep into the core issues that prevent it from delivering consistent, reliable results. The most fundamental, and perhaps most overlooked, flaw in the law of attraction is that it inherently reinforces the very state of lack you are so desperately trying to escape. Think about it. When you focus all your energy on trying to attract more money, what are you really telling the universe? You're sending out a powerful signal that you don't have enough money. You're living in the feeling of scarcity. When you're constantly visualizing and affirming a loving relationship, because you're lonely, you are, by that very action, confirming your current state of being alone. The universe or consciousness doesn't operate on a system of wants and desires. It doesn't respond to what you wish you had. It responds to who you are, to the state you embody right now. So when your dominant state is one of wanting, of needing, of lacking, the universe simply mirrors that back to you, giving you more experiences of wanting, needing, and lacking. You become trapped in a perpetual cycle of desire, never quite reaching the destination of having. This leads directly to another crippling aspect of the law of attraction. It breeds a deep sense of dependency. Your success, your ability to manifest, becomes contingent on a whole host of external factors that are often outside of your control. You become dependent on maintaining a perfect, high vibrational mood at all times. You become dependent on the energies of the people around you and the circumstances of your day. If you wake up and have a bad day, a wave of panic sets in. You start worrying that you've just ruined your manifestation, that you've sent the wrong signal and pushed your desire further away. If a coworker says something negative or you get into a disagreement with a friend, you fret over how their low vibration might be contaminating yours. This isn't a state of power. It's a state of fragility. It keeps you on the defensive, constantly reacting to the world around you instead of being the powerful, creative force at the center of your own reality. You become a slave to your emotions and external events, rather than the master of your state of being. Then there's the infamous waiting game, a central tenet of the law of attraction that keeps millions in a state of suspended animation. The formula is simple. Ask, believe, and then wait to receive. The problem is that receiving part is often elusive. It either never seems to arrive, or it shows up in a form that's completely different from what you asked for. And when that happens, you're told to just be grateful for whatever crumbs the universe threw your way, to trust the divine timing, and to keep on waiting. This creates a state of perpetual anticipation. You're always on the lookout, constantly searching for signs and synchronicities. You're always asking, is it working yet? Is this a sign? Did I do it right? This constant seeking, this future-focused mindset, is the very definition of not having. You can't be in a state of looking for something and a state of possessing it at the same time. The two are mutually exclusive. The law of attraction, by its very nature, encourages you to live in the future, hoping for a reality that never seems to fully arrive, which prevents you from ever truly experiencing it in the now. Furthermore, A massive blind spot for the law of attraction is its almost complete disregard for the power of the subconscious mind. You can stand in front of a mirror and repeat positive affirmations until you read blue in the face. You can create elaborate vision boards and visualize your success every single day. But if your deep-seated, subconscious beliefs run contrary to those affirmations, you're essentially just spinning your wheels. Your subconscious mind is the blueprint of your reality. It holds the core assumptions you have about yourself and the world. If you consciously affirm, "I am wealthy," but subconsciously believe, "I am not worthy of money," or "rich people are greedy," your subconscious will win every single time. The law of attraction provides surface-level techniques that feel productive, but they don't address the foundational programming that is actually creating your life. It's like trying to fix a crumbling building by applying a fresh coat of paint. You're masking the problem, not solving it. The rust of your old assumptions will inevitably bleed through, and you'll find yourself right back where you started, wondering what you did wrong. This leads to another toxic byproduct. The law of attraction often creates a victim mentality disguised as empowerment. The philosophy dictates that you attract everything into your life based on your thoughts and vibrations. On the surface, this sounds empowering, you're in control. But what happens when things go wrong? When you lose your job, when a relationship ends, when you get sick? The doctrine of the law of attraction implicitly tells you that it's your fault. You must have attracted it with your negative thoughts or your low vibration. This fosters a profound sense of guilt and self-blame. Instead of feeling empowered, you feel responsible for every single misfortune, both big and small. This isn't true power. It's a spiritual justification for self-flagellation. It keeps you trapped in a loop of analyzing your past thoughts, feeling guilty for your perceived failures, and fearing that any stray negative thought could bring disaster upon you. True empowerment comes from understanding your creative power, not from blaming yourself for circumstances that are often a result of old programming and assumptions you were uneven aware of. The emphasis on action within the law of attraction is another source of immense confusion and frustration. You're often told to take inspired action, to do your part to help the universe bring your desire to you. But what does that even mean? How do you distinguish between inspired action and forced action? This ambiguity creates a frantic need to do something, anything, to make it happen. You end up hustling, striving, and forcing things, which is the complete opposite of the effortless allowing that true creation entails. You're caught in a paradox. You're supposed to let go and trust, but you're also supposed to act. This leads to anxiety and second-guessing every move. Should I make this call? Should I send that email? Is this inspired, or am I forcing it? True manifestation doesn't require this stressful guesswork. It unfolds naturally, effortlessly, and inevitably when you have successfully shifted your state of being, your core assumption. The actions become a natural consequence of your new state, not a desperate attempt to achieve it. Finally, and most importantly, the law of attraction fails because it is built upon a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of reality and consciousness itself. It presents a dualistic model where you, a small separate consciousness, are trying to send out signals into a vast external physical universe to attract things back to you. It treats consciousness as a tool to manipulate a pre-existing, solid reality. But this is not how it works. Consciousness is not in the universe. The universe is in consciousness. Consciousness is the one and only reality. There is no out there. Everything you see, touch, and experience, the people, the places, the circumstances, is your own consciousness pushed out, made visible. When you truly grasp this, you realize the entire concept of attraction is redundant. There's nothing to attract because everything already exists within you as a potential state in consciousness. You don't need to pull things toward you from some external source. You simply need to select the reality you desire and assume the feeling of it being true right now. There's nothing to attract, there's only something to assume. And that is the key that unlocks everything. The law of assumption always works because it is fundamentally woven into the very fabric of reality itself. Consciousness is the only reality, the one true substance from which all things are made. Your awareness of being, your I am, is the beginning and the end of all that exists. Everything you perceive in your external world is simply an outpicturing, a shadow cast by the states of consciousness you occupy. When you assume a state, you are not wishing for it. You are activating it within your consciousness, and by universal law, it must then manifest in your three-dimensional world. This isn't a whimsical theory or a philosophical debate. This is the immutable way that reality operates. The immense power of assumption lies in its immediacy. The very moment you assume something to be true, it is done. It is not a future event you are waiting for. It is a present reality you have accepted. In the realm of consciousness, linear time does not exist. Past, present, and future are all collapsed into the eternal now. When you assume you are wealthy, you are, in that instant, wealthy in consciousness. The outer world, being merely a reflection, will then begin to rearrange itself to mirror this inner truth. It has no other choice but to conform to the reality you have established within. The law of assumption works because it targets the root cause of all your experiences, your concept of self. Your entire life is a perfect reflection of who you believe you are. If you hold the deep-seated belief that you are unworthy, your world will manifest experiences to confirm your unworthiness. If you believe you are abundant, you will manifest abundance. This law teaches you to fundamentally revise your self-concept by simply assuming you already are the person you desire to be. This internal shift in identity automatically and inevitably produces the corresponding external change. Another reason for its unfailing success is the principle of persistence. The law of assumption does not demand perfection from you. You are not required to hold an assumption flawlessly, 24 hours a day, without a single wavering thought. You only need to return to your desired state more often than you revert to the old, unwanted one. Through this gentle persistence, the new assumption will eventually feel natural. It will become your default state of being, your new home in consciousness. And once an assumption becomes your natural state, it manifests effortlessly and automatically. The law also works because it establishes you as the sole operant power in your universe. You are not petitioning an external force or asking for permission from anyone or anything. You are not waiting for the universe to deem you worthy of your desires. You are claiming what is already yours by right of consciousness, simply by assuming it is already a fact. This profound shift in power, from external to internal, is precisely what makes manifestation an inevitable outcome. When you truly know that you are the creative power of the universe, you understand there is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. This law operates impersonally. It is a principle like gravity, and it does not care if you are a good person or a bad one, whether you feel deserving or undeserving, or whether your desires are spiritual or materialistic. It functions based on one thing and one thing only, your assumptions. Whatever you assume to be true for you will manifest in your reality. This explains why you might see people you consider terrible living lives of abundance, while kind, good people struggle. It is not a matter of morality or cosmic justice. It is a matter of assumption. You get what you assume, period. The law of assumption also liberates you from the endless treadmill of techniques. Once you have truly assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you do not need to constantly visualize or repeat affirmations. You might choose to do so because it feels good and helps you remain in that state, but it is not a requirement for manifestation. The assumption itself is the completed act. All other techniques are merely tools to help you arrive at the state of the wish fulfilled. The real power is in the assumption, not in the tool used to get there. One of its most potent applications is the practice of revision. The law of assumption teaches that you can revise any event, past or present. Since time is an illusion within consciousness, you can mentally go back to any moment and change how you remember it, replaying the scene in your mind as you wished it had happened. When you revise an event, you alter its meaning and impact within your consciousness, which in turn creates a different chain of events moving forward. Revision is one of the most powerful and tragically underutilized tools in the arsenal of conscious creation. The law works because it is based on causation, not correlation. Your outer world does not cause your inner state. Your inner state is the one and only cause of your outer world. Most people have this completely backwards. They think they will finally feel confident once they achieve success, but the law dictates the opposite is true. When you first assume you are successful, success must follow as a natural consequence. The outer world will always, without fail, reflect the inner, never the other way around. Finally, the law of assumption always works because it is already working in your life right now at this very moment. You are already using it, whether you are aware of it or not. Every single assumption you hold about yourself, about others, and about your world is actively manifesting around you. If you are experiencing financial struggle, it is because you are living in the assumption that you are the kind of person who struggles with money. If you are feeling lonely, it is because you are assuming yourself to be a person who is alone. The law is always on. The only question is, are you using it consciously to create the life you desire, or are you allowing it to run on autopilot, creating a life based on your unconscious assumptions? So here's the bottom line, the real takeaway from everything we've discussed. The law of attraction consistently fails you because it operates from a flawed premise. It fundamentally keeps you in a state of perpetual wanting, forever separating you from the very desires you seek to manifest. It makes you dependent on external forces, on some benevolent universe that might or might not grant your wishes. It gets you tangled up in an endless loop of monitoring your thoughts, chasing high vibrations, and performing complex rituals and techniques, all while your core belief remains one of lack. You're trying to attract something, which implies you don't have it. On the other hand, the law of assumption always works. It can't fail. Why? Because it is based on the ultimate truth of reality. Consciousness is the one and only reality. There is nothing outside of it. You are not a small part of a vast universe. You are the operant power within your own consciousness. Your world is your consciousness pushed out. Therefore, what you assume to be true, with feeling and conviction, hardens into fact. Assumption doesn't just influence reality. It creates it. If you've been on the manifestation roller coaster, experiencing fleeting successes followed by long periods of frustration and struggle, it's time to get off the ride. It's time to respectfully let go of the law of attraction and fully embrace the profound and liberating truth of the law of assumption. Stop trying to attract anything. The very act of trying to pull something toward you reinforces the fact that it isn't here. Stop obsessively monitoring your vibrations, living in fear that one negative thought will derail everything. Stop waiting for signs, synchronicities, or for the universe to finally deliver your package. Instead, do this one simple, powerful thing. Assume you already are the person you wish to be. Assume you already have the thing you desire. Accept it as a finished, accomplished fact in the only place where reality is created, your own wonderful human imagination. And then, you persist in that assumption. You walk in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of what your five senses are screaming at you. This isn't a trick. This is the secret. This is the great key to unlocking a life of your own conscious creation. The shift from the law of attraction to the law of assumption is not just about swapping out one technique for another. It's a complete and total paradigm shift. It's a revolution in your understanding of yourself and your place in the world. It's the profound movement from seeking to having. It's graduating from hoping to knowing. It is the journey from feeling like a powerless pawn in a cosmic game to realizing you are the powerful player who directs the entire board. When you truly make this internal shift, everything in your outer world begins to change. Not because you learned a clever new trick, but because you have finally remembered who you truly are, the creator and operator of your reality. I want you to start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Choose one desire. It can be big or small, it doesn't matter. Now, instead of asking for it or trying to attract it, simply assume it is already fulfilled. Feel the feeling of having it right now. What would it feel like if it were true? Relief? Joy? Security? Peace? Capture that feeling. That is your new home. That is the state you will now live from. Don't waste a single moment trying to figure out the how, the when, the where, the who. None of that is your business. The how is the domain of the creative power within you, which will arrange the bridge of incidents to bring it into your world. Your only job is to assume the end. Live mentally in the reality of your wish fulfilled. When doubts and old fears creep in, and they will, because your old self will fight for its life, you don't fight them. You don't argue with them. You simply and calmly return to your assumption. You remind yourself, that's not true anymore. I am now the person who has this. You do this persistently, with a gentle but firm discipline, and you will witness a miracle. You'll see your three-dimensional world, which is only a shadow, begin to rearrange itself to conform to the new blueprint you've established in your inner state. Please understand, you're not learning something new here. This isn't a foreign concept being installed in your brain. You are remembering a profound truth you've always known at the deepest level of your being, but have forgotten through social conditioning. You are consciousness itself, experiencing life through a human body. Everything you perceive, every person, every circumstance, every condition, it is all your consciousness objectified. It's your own past assumptions pushed out for you to see. When you fully accept this truth and begin to consciously and deliberately assume the states you wish to experience, you reclaim your birthright. You become the master of your own reality. The law of assumption is not a belief system you have to adopt. It's not a religion you must have faith in. It's not even a spiritual practice in the way most people think of it, shrouded in mystery and dogma. It is, quite simply, how consciousness works. It's the fundamental mechanics of reality. It's the physics of the mind. And once you understand these mechanics and begin to apply them consciously, with intention, there's absolutely nothing you cannot be, do, or have. You are the creator, you are the creation, and you are the creative process, all rolled into one magnificent being. So the invitation is clear. Stop attracting and start assuming. Stop seeking outside of yourself and start claiming what is already yours within. Stop hoping for a better future and start knowing that your desired reality exists now. Your desires are not floating around out there in the ether, waiting for you to become worthy enough to attract them. They already exist as possibilities, as finished states within consciousness. Your one and only job is to select the state you desire, occupy it by assuming it's already yours, and persist in that assumption until your outer world, your shadow world, inevitably catches up. This is the beginning and the end of manifestation. It's the only technique you will ever need. The question is no longer whether manifestation works or not. That debate is over. The only question left is this: what will you assume about yourself, starting right now, in this very moment? Who will you decide to be from this day forward? What state of consciousness will you claim as your own, as your permanent home? These are the only questions that truly matter, because your assumptions are creating your reality, whether you are aware of them or not. They are shaping your world right now, in this moment, and in every moment to come. Use this power wisely. Assume the best for yourself and for others. Live from the end, the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And then, simply watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive, this journey into the core truth about manifestation. If what I've shared today has resonated with you, if it has struck a chord of truth deep within your soul, remember this above all else: you are infinitely more powerful than you have ever been told. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the cause of your circumstances. You are consciousness itself. And there is absolutely nothing you cannot be, do, or have the moment you decide to assume it's already yours.